Yarny friends, I'm Sara Sach and welcome back to my crochet channel. Now today's video we decided to update and make a new video of our super simple or super easy Christmas ornaments. They're very easy to make. They're basically 2 circles, then we stitch them together and then add the ornament topper. And of course, they're perfect for hanging on your tree, but they also look great hanging across a mantle, make a bunting, or maybe use them as a gift tag on a gift you're giving at Christmas. They just have lots of fun uses, and you can see I've made them lots of different ways. This one's just red and white like a peppermint. We added a little Christmas tree button. This one is silver and white, so it has sort of a crystal-y look. So we added a snowflake button to the center of this one. This one I just did solid white with the green edge, added a fun little abstract Christmas tree design, added a star and a little holly leaf to make it look like a Christmas tree. And then this one we used all 3 colors and just added a little stocking button. You can add bows, you can add beads, anything that you want to personalize them, and you'll see they're super easy to stitch up. The ornaments measure about 4 inches across, and then they're about 5 inches tall if you count the little hanger, just to get an idea of the size. Now I used all sparkle or metallic yarns. They're all medium weight, number 4, and I had all of these on hand. I have the Red Heart Super Saver in silver for the toppers. And then I used an assortment of I Love This yarn and some of the Super Saver. I've got green, pink, white. I've also got some purple and kind of a cranberry color. These are all ones that I had on hand, all medium weight acrylic, number 4. And although I use sparkle for all of mine, because I really like the way they sparkle when the light hits them, you don't have to even use sparkle. You can just use whatever yarns, medium weight number 4, you have in your yarn stash and come up with lots of fun designs. Now today I'm going to use this pink and the white for the ornament, and then of course I'll use some of the silver for the topper. And I've got these little kids, and I thought it would be cute to make one pink and put this little girl button on it. But it would also be cute in blue, and I do have a blue as well. And these are just buttons that I have in my button stash. I bought these probably last year, I'm not really sure. They came with a little cocoa cup as well, and I used it and pretended it was a coffee cup. Anyway, I've told you this before, but you can find the best buttons at Hobby Lobby and at Joann's both over in the scrapbooking area. If you go over to the regular buttons, they have some, but they have a much more plethora assortment in the scrapbooking section. And you can also find them, like right now, it's Christmas in Hobby Lobby and Joann's, and so you can find a lot more Christmas buttons in the Christmas decorations as well. I've just found the best ones over in the scrapbooking department. We're going to stitch today with our H hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook, and then of course you're going to need a needle, weaving in ends, and to sew on a button if that's what you choose to do. Now remember, you can just add a bow, you can add a ribbon, you can add beads, you can embellish your Christmas ornaments however you want to. This is the way I'm going to be doing my ornaments. I'm going to do 2 rows of white, and then I'm going to do a pink row, and then I'm going to put them together and stitch a pink row around, okay? So you can do yours however you want. Like this one here, I have just red and white. This one, the whole center's silver and white on the edge. This one, the whole center's white and green on the edge. And this one over here, I did lots of colors with the green, the red, and the white, and the silver topper. So you can do them however that you want. And I decided to do this one just a little bit different so you can see that there are different ways of doing them. Now you're going to need 2 circles, so I've already got one made. All right, so let's make a second circle. They're both made exactly the same. We're going to start with our slip knot and we're going to chain 5. We're going to join this into a circle, so we'll pull that tail of yarn through. We'll snug that down and tie that stay knot. We're going to go in our chain 5 circle, pull up a loop, and chain 3. That chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet, and we're going to stitch 9 more double crochets in this circle. You'll also notice that I'm stitching over my tail of yarn, and that's so I can close that up when I'm done. Our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, and we want to stitch 9 more, so we have a total of 10 double crochets in our chain 5 circle. Let's see how many I've stitched. Here's my chain 3, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I need 1 more, so we have 10 double crochets. I'm going to join to my chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now, before we go any farther, I'm going to pull that loop just a little bit big so it doesn't come out. We're going to turn this over and gently pull on that string, and that's going to close that hole up. And then we can go ahead and take our needle and weave this in. And then we won't have to worry about it later. It'll already be done. But if you're like some people and want to wait till the end, you can weave it in there as well. I just like to get it over with. All right, that's nice and snug. Grab those scissors. Oh, there we go. All righty. So for row 1, we have 10 double crochets. We joined to our chain 3 and chained 3. For row 2, our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. We're going to double crochet in that same stitch as our chain 3, and now we're going to go in our next double crochet and stitch 2 double crochets. And we're going to stitch 2 double crochets in each of the 10 double crochets around, and that's going to give us 20 double crochets. We'll continue this around, stitching 2 double crochets in each, and then join back to our chain 3. I stitched 2 double crochets in each of my 10 because we started with our chain 3 and stitched 1 double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3. So that gave us 20 double crochets. We're going to join to the chain 3, only this time we're not going to chain 3 because we're going to change colors. All right, so I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to bring in my next color. Now, it doesn't matter what row you change your colors on. Anytime that you're changing, make sure you do that chain 3 after your color change, because the first stitch on our next row is that chain 3, and we don't want it to be the wrong color. If we would have gone ahead and done our chain 3 in white, we would have 1 stitch on row 3 that is white instead of pink. All right, so we're going to double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3 again, and again we're going to stitch 2 double crochets in each of our double crochets around. This is going to give us a nice flat ornament. Two double crochets in each of the double crochets around. We'll continue this around and join back to our chain 3. I stitched 1 double crochet in the same stitch as my chain 3 and then 2 double crochets in each of my stitches around. Row 1 we had 10, row 2 we had 20, and on row 3 we have 40 double crochets. We're going to join to that chain 3 with a slip stitch, and we'll just chain 1. So now we have the 2 circles. On the first circle, we went ahead and cut our yarn and weaved in our end. On the second circle, we left it attached after we weaved in the ends on the inside. You're going to take your two circles and put them together with the right sides facing out. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet the two circles together. So we'll go right in the first stitch here and here, and we'll single crochet them together. And this makes a nice sturdy ornament. You can even put a little bit of stuffing inside if you want to. Now I don't, but I have in the past. And it does make a nice puffy little ornament, but I just didn't see that it was necessary. So that's totally up to you if you want to add a little stuffing on the inside of the ornament. But this makes a nice sturdy ornament, and you can put it on a package for a gift tag. You can hang it up on a bunting and put it across your fireplace or chimney, or even decorate your door. There's lots of fun things that you can do with these ornaments. All right, so I'm just going to continue around stitching one single crochet in each of my stitches around. I stitched one single crochet in each of my double crochets around. I'm going to join to that first single crochet with a slip stitch. And now I'm going to cut the pink yarn. We're going to make the topper now, so I'm going to bring in my silver yarn. I'm going to chain one just to get it up where it needs to be. And now we're going to single crochet in the first four. And I'm also going to stitch over that yarn just for a couple stitches. And then I'll come back in and weave that in. So I'm stitching 4 single crochets. All right, and I'll just drop that because I do that sometimes so it makes it easier to weave it in. I stitched over it here, then I can just grab it with my needle and come back in and weave it in the other way. So we have 4 single crochets, chain 1, and turn. And now we're going to stitch 1 single crochet in each of those 4. Chain 1 and turn. See how that makes a nice top on our ornament? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet in the first 2. 1, 2, we're going to chain 6, and then we'll come right to that next single crochet and single crochet in the last 2. And that makes our ornament topper. We'll clip our yarn, tie this off, and now we're just going to take a minute or two with our needle and weave these ends in. Because we want this to look nice and crisp. So now the last thing I need to do is just add my little girl button. She's all dressed up for winter. And of course you can add whatever buttons and bows and ribbons that you want. So I'm just going to go in and make that little loop that I like to do first when I'm sewing on a button. I do this when I'm sewing buttons onto something knit or crochet, just so it's nice and sturdy. And you can see the hole goes sideways. And so we'll just make a couple passes. You can also use hot glue or E6000 if you're not going to be taking these outside with the hot glue. E6000 you can use outside. The thing about hot glue is when you use it outside, it can get hard and cracky and break. And when you use it outside, when it's super hot, it gets melty, and when it's super cold, it breaks. Okay? Just an FYI. Now I'm going to pull this string to the back, and then I'll grab my crochet hook and do the same with that other string. And then I'm just going to tie a knot. So I don't want my button to come off. Do 3 knots that I like to do. And clip that nice and close. Now, I only put something on the front of mine. If you want to add a button on the back as well so that it looks good from both sides, you certainly can. But I usually just put it on the front and not on the back. All right? And so that's my little girl with the pink. Super cute. I do have some blue. I probably ought to make a blue one also. But these would be super fun to give to your grandkids. And make one the things that they like. Maybe if your son, like my grandson's into marching band, I could put a musical note or an instrument on there and put it on his gift. And you could do that as well. My granddaughter's into gymnastics. I could find some little gymnastic buttons maybe and put that on there and put it on her gift bag. You know, because the gifts, the toys, they may break and go away, but you can always have this to hang on a Christmas tree and make a great memory. And that's how easy it is to make our super easy, super quick Christmas ornaments. And you can make them in lots of different colors, different ways, and embellish them however that you want to. Make them personal, make them generic, however that you want. Lots of different colors. Just get in your yarn stash and have some fun.